Ooh, I'm excited about this one. We're off to the Windy City to visit the United Center. Let's go. Hey there and welcome back to Rinks Around the League. I'm your host Jeff Nash, and on today's show we're off to Chicago, Illinois to visit the United Center, home of the Chicago Blackhawks of the NHL. Construction of the United Center started on April 6, 1992, and it opened on August 18, 1994, at a cost of $175 million. It is owned by the United Center Joint Venture. The United Center Joint Venture is a 50-50 partnership between the Chicago Bulls of the NBA and the Blackhawks. Its seating capacity is 19,717, and its current scoreboard measures 21 by 12.9 feet. United Airlines paid $1.8 million a year until 2014, but in 2013, a 20-year deal was reached. Details were not disclosed, but it's rumored to be around $5 million a season. The average secondary market ticket price ranks them 5th in the league at $229. As a replacement for the famous Chicago Stadium, the United Center is one of the best in the league in terms of atmosphere and character. It's the biggest rink in the NHL in terms of physical size, and that's the first thing you notice when you walk into that rink. It's huge. The second thing you'll notice when you walk into the rink and when you look up in the rafters are those banners. From the Chicago Bulls and the Blackhawks, the banners are big, historic, intricate. They really add a lot to that rink. Another characteristic in the Bowl are those huge soundboards that circle the entire rink up in the roof. These were put in place to help replicate the roar of the old Chicago Stadium and to help replicate the sound of the overall arena, including the iconic organ. Now, it's reported that it took nearly 2 years to perfect the sound of the current Allen organ that's in the United Center to get as close as possible to the sound that was in the old Chicago Stadium. On the main concourse, they have large LED displays that are a fan favorite for photo ops. The main concourse also is just nicely polished, and it seems like every single floor in that building is finished from top to bottom. A recent addition to the United Center is the atrium and adjoining administration offices. On the main floor of the admin building is a massive team store that serves both the Bulls and the Blackhawks. This store is probably the best in the league, that has everything you can think of in terms of merch, a real Chicago L-Train car, and is open to the public even if the team isn't playing, which I think is awesome in case you're in Chicago when the team isn't. And the Hawks brand has to be tops in all of pro sports. When you buy a top-end jersey, they even give you a jersey bag to protect your jersey in the closet. I think that's an amazing detail. Nice touch. Now, one thing I have to stress is that if you're in Chicago and the Blackhawks are in town, go to a game. Why? Because their national anthem is almost worth the price of admission on its own. As soon as that Allen organ starts to play the opening chorus to the US national anthem, the crowd goes crazy. It's one of the coolest things I've ever experienced in pro sports. This was taped just during a regular season, but have a listen. That video doesn't do it justice, but when you're there, it's an overwhelming experience. I'm not even American, but I just got chills every single time that I was in Chicago. This, coupled with an amazing in-game presentation, along with their awesome goal celebration song that has everybody up dancing around every time the Blackhawks score, the iconic horn. The United Center is probably the best experience you'll ever have at an NHL game. And lastly, the thing I really love about the United Center is attention to detail. It seems like every single level, suite, floor has polished finish to it. It doesn't seem like there's any exposed concrete anywhere in the building. Now, is there anything I don't like about the rink? There's a couple of things that they could probably improve upon. Probably a new modern scoreboard. The one that they have in Chicago, they use really well. The in-game presentation folks do a really good job integrating that scoreboard into their in-game presentation. But it's probably time for an upgrade in terms of a scoreboard. It's away from downtown and away from any major restaurants or hotels, so it's kind of out on its own. But it is what it is. In conclusion, the United Center is a must for any hockey fan. You have to see a game here if it's not already on your bucket list. On the next episode of Rinks Around the League, we're off to Denver, Colorado to the Pepsi Center, home of the Colorado Avalanche. As always, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at _theRinks, on Facebook at The Rinks, and on YouTube at Rinks Around the League. Hit subscribe and ring that bell.
And we're clear.
All right.
Excellent.
All right. Good show.
Yeah,
Good show today.
excellent.
All right.